Welcome, friends. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for taking a moment to watch this video. My name is Eunice Lopez, and I am part of the KEYS team here at HCC, the Quality Early Education System. And I'm here to just share some thoughts about developmentally appropriate practice. Now, some of you may be thinking, oh my, another video on DAP, another conversation about developmentally appropriate practices. I'm already familiar with that term. I already know what the acronym stands for. Well, I'm here to tell you that this clip is more about our role as early educators and how that kind of aligns with DAP. So it's less about the definition of developmentally appropriate practice or the acronym, and more about our role as early educators to recognize our own teaching practices so that DAP is evident in our classroom, in our interactions with children, and all the engagement that we do on a daily basis. So the National Association for the Education of Young Children, or NAEYC, defines developmentally appropriate practice as methods that promote each child's optimal development and learning through a strength-based, play-based approach to joyful, engaged learning. Now let's unpack that a little bit, because that term is full of action words, meaning early educators are actively engaged in a specific practice that promotes and builds on children's strengths. So we must also consider that to be developmentally appropriate, our practices must reflect an authentic awareness of cultural context, linguistical skills, and each child's ability to learn. So here are a few practices, teaching practices, that we should be thinking about. Facilitate the developmental progression of children. We should be designing our learning environment to support children as they move across developmental domains. Individualize instruction as needed. We should value and recognize that all children develop at their own pace. Intentional teaching. We should be actively participating in play with children. Planning with objectives in mind. We should plan and set up the environment with specific learning objectives that will enable children to master specific skills. How do we do this? What does it look like in an early childhood program? Well, let's ask ourselves a few more questions. Are you beginning to see a pattern here? It's more about self-reflection. So we must be self-reflective first before we can successfully understand what practices may need to be adjusted, adapted, or modified to implement ongoing developmentally appropriate practices. What do we need to know about child development? What do we currently know about child development? Has anything changed? Is there new research out there that is letting us know that this is now evolving? What do I need to understand about children's learning? How do children learn? How do children learn best? What do I need to change in my current teaching practices to provide meaningful experiences? So as you self-reflect and self-assess your current practices, you will quickly notice that there is so much room for professional growth. So please consider the chronological age of children, the developmental age of children. Please consider the learning objectives and the goals that you have set for young children. Consider the types of materials and tools that you have in the classroom. How about the engaging experiences? Are they meaningful? Do children want to participate in the learning process because of the type of learning experiences that you're offering them? How about the room arrangement? Please consider the room arrangement. Consider how the room is set up. Should things be moved around? Does it make sense? Can children access toys and move about the room freely? How about the lighting? Please consider the lighting. Consider the environmental print that you're using on the walls, on the shelves, on the bins. Are children making connections between what they're manipulating in their hands and what they're seeing in labels with prints and pictures? How about considering the teaching approach and the techniques that you're using? How's that working for you? Is it effective? Are you consistent? Are children exploring because of the way that you're sharing the information, delivering the information? Are children excited to be part of it because of the way that you approach teaching and the techniques that you're using? So it's important to keep in mind that all of these developmentally appropriate practice components really should be part of your daily approach to teaching our youngest learners. Never lose sight of that. We have a purpose for everything that we do, how we do it, when we do it, right? It's meaningful to children. So if it's meaningful to children, it should be equally as meaningful to us. And so I want to thank you for taking this moment to watch this video. I want to thank you for your commitment to early learning, your commitment to children and families of our community, and especially your commitment to your professional development. It's so critically important to continue learning, adapting, modifying, and exploring our own teaching practices to better serve our children. See you next time. Make it a great day.